Hello and welcome to the channel. And in this video we're just going to take a look back at our two files. We know we previously just kind of went and created a school CMS project, so we can store this file that we've been creating out of our methods that we have learned. And here's that file. I'm just going to open that up. But I also went back now and just used the old Learning Java file, and I took out all the methods and I just created the program exactly as it is without methods. Okay, and we're just going to take a quick look. If you take that out and you just pop it over here, you don't need to do this. We'll just kind of go through this a little bit. And I'll just show you, the logic of the program is pretty different when it comes down to, the logic's not different because it'll do exactly the same thing. If we ran the Learning Java file, you'll actually see the exact same thing that's running in the school CMS file. There's no difference in actual logic, but the formation of the logic or the formation of the program is a lot different. So as you can see here, this is our public main right here, public static void main, right? And that now comes all the way down and ends way down here. All right, that's our main ending tag right there. So you can see that the program's rather big when it comes down to the build of it. It's all built up without having a single method implemented inside of it. Whereas over here, this one is our CMS one. The logic for main is actually right here to right here. Okay, so you can see it's fairly small when it comes down to, there's your main logic or your main method, and now here's the main method build after with taking out all the methods. So you can see there's quite a bit difference in the structure and build of our program. And truthfully, these are the same things as over here. These are exactly the same variable setups that are already set up, so our true program starts here and works its way down to roughly here would be our program, whereas the program on this one is only this big. Okay, so you could see, there's a lot more readability here. It's a little bit easier to read it afterward. It's not so, I guess, written, not overwritten, I guess. It's not, there's not so much going on. It's not so busy anymore. It's very easy to kind of just tell what's going on here. To me anyhow, it's a lot easier for me to read this code than it is for me to kind of go through this code here. And it's not overly hard. You do know it's a very small program. It's, here's your opening message, and then we got our copyright message. Here's our opening message and our copyright message, right? And then we come down and we have this, our menu and our getting the menu item, and here's our getting the menu item, right? Statement. And you come down and here's our switch now, and we come in, here's case one of our switch. So if they want to start inputting data, here's all of the case one logic right here. This is, gather the data from the user and then check to see what, to take the letter grade or the number grade that was given, the value of grade the student has for their class, and then come up with a letter grade for it. And see here, it's just gather the data in these 5 lines here, and then get the letter grade, and then we go back out to the menu, and same thing, it'll come back out up to the menu, and then it'll wait here. When you hit 2 to print it, now we come down, here's 2, 2 will now print it. And this one, 2 is on a single line with a method that passes in those parameters that we've gathered. Here it's just going to print them off as they were stored up here, type of thing. They're all stored up in this area. And then 3 would be to exit the program, and we have two methods here to print an exit message, which is, here's now your exit message, and 1 to print out your copyright once again. All right, so you can see the logic's the logic of the program's all entirely the same. Again, if we run this, I'll highlight this here and we'll run this one program up. and you'll see here we get exactly what we were looking for. Here's our message, and we can input some data. Here's a course name, Java Intro, JVA 101, teacher's name, Jim, right, Jenkins, whatever, don't matter, 97 or 87, print the file. There's our printed out report card, right? And it gets all the data like we wanted it to. And then we can just quit the program and we get our, so there's the first logic ran. No difference, it's absolutely the same. One thing I do want to show with you though, share with you quickly, if you haven't seen this yet, or if the scanner's been acting up and you're not sure why, right here in this line here, I'm going to just maybe bring this up a bit. So you'll see here, we get the input from the user on the next byte for the input here. Now, if I take this out of here, okay, this input next line, and I run this one more time, I just want to show you this really quickly. If you haven't already seen this for yourself, it's something that the scanner kind of messes up with. It's not really a bug, it's just the way that it works. So if we were to enter student data here, you see now it skips course name and jumps right down into course code, and it kind of, it's kind of a weird little problem that's going on here. And if I type in Java introduction, okay, we'll just keep going through this really quick. Okay, and then we print out this report card. You can actually see that the course name and the course code, it kind of just takes both. So I'll show you what workaround there is here for this. We'll just exit this program, hit 3. And the workaround here is what happens in this context, it takes a number value or it looks for the next byte. So you push in 1, 2, or 3, and when you hit enter, there was actually a new line character that followed it. And when it come down into this, the new line got captured here. So it actually took a little piece of space and just jammed it in there, okay? So in order to bypass that, or order to fix that issue that you're having, if you do see this at any point, you just have to do this input.next line, and that will actually capture whatever leftover data was not used into this piece, okay? There is another way to go about it, but this is the easiest way for you to do it. So if I run it now with this fix in here, you'll see it ultimately fixes what's going on, and you will see the next. So if you're seeing, it's input skipping, then just be sure to, see. Now you can see it says course name instead of course name, course code. If you're seeing input skipping like that, then just make sure you put in this little tag here, this input.next line. You don't have to capture data or nothing. It'll just kind of grab it up into this next line input and kind of just toss it away. In essence, that's kind of what's going on. So we'll just stop this now. We don't need to keep going. I just wanted to show you and make sure you were aware of that. If you were seeing that in your programs, then it's a good thing for you to know. All right. So if we come over here now, and we'll just highlight the school CMS one, roll it up, and we'll just run it one time really quick. We'll do a run through on the school CMS file. We can close this down, and we'll run school CMS, and you'll see it runs exactly the same. It's a very neat and clean piece of code. Okay, so here we go. We got our welcome, our thing. We can hit the enter for student data, course name. There's some test data type of thing, 85, and then we print the report card. You can see it prints it out perfectly fine, just like it did, and we quit, and exactly the same thing. Okay, so two exact same programs, two very different ways of writing the programs, one being a little bit cleaner, a little more easy to maintain, read. The quality of it's still exactly the same. It doesn't output anything differently, but two very, very different ways of writing the code. All right, so I hope that's helpful for you to kind of see the power of the differences between using methods and not using methods. That's kind of the outline of what we're going on here. And we got one more method to talk about. We'll do that in our next video. So that's it for this video, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions about future videos or ideas type of thing, then drop it down in the comment section below. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that'd be wonderful. And thanks again for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.